So let's briefly talk about editing global UPC codes. So once you've entered a global UPC code, you have to be really careful about modifying that UPC code. But sometimes it's not an option. If the UPC code is incorrect, you need to fix that problem. But there's a certain way to do it. So let's talk about how to do that. So first off, the wrong way. So let's pretend that you have an item here. So here's an item right here. And this particular item was entered at headquarters. So you created the new item. You entered the global UPC code. Let's say it's 123. And let's say that you have UPC-based SID generation. So then ultimately you communicate that information down to the store level, right? So let's say communication happens and that information is sent down to the stores. So at this point you have the item at this store. Now let's say that it's sometime in the future and you realize that the item has the wrong UPC code. So instead of being UPC code 123, it's supposed to be 456. So what do? So let's say that at headquarters, you modify the global UPC code. So you change it from 123 to 456. And then you send that information down to the stores. Well, here's what's going to happen. So when the stores receive that information, you're going to get a communications error. You won't get that information. Why? Because there's a conflict. It's going to say that, hey, I already have an item with this SID 123 with a UPC 123 as well. So now you're trying to give me another item with the same SID but a different UPC? Can't do it. That's what's going to happen. So here's how you should do it. Here's the right way to do it. So same scenario. Let's say you have an item and you enter that item into inventory at head office. So it has a global UPC of 123, has a SID of 123. So ultimately you communicate that information down to the stores. So now the stores have that same item. Global UPC 123, item SID 123. Again, let's say that you find out the UPC is wrong. It should be UPC 456. Here's how you should do it. So at head office, you should clear out the global UPC field. Basically just delete it. And then you need to send that information down to the stores. So at the store level, it will also be deleted. And you won't have a communications error here. So at this point in time, your entire system has this item SID 123, with a blank global UPC code. So now HQ will key in the right UPC code, 456, and then communicate that down to the stores. So now the stores will accept that new global UPC of 456, and you're done. This is the right way to modify or update global UPC. Otherwise, you're going to have communication problems. All right? Again, the key here is to wipe out the global UPC code, send that information down to the stores, and then key in the right UPC code and send that down to the stores. That's it. That's how you modify the global UPC code correctly.